24 to 6, Jazz Radio 94.1 FM, and Peter Jackson's award-winning movie Heavenly Creatures launched Kate Winslet's stellar career, and the same true story is the focus of Micheline Forster's play Daughters of Heaven, directed by Pam Sexton, which opened at the Gold Coast Little Theatre, our sponsor, on Saturday night. And Pam's on the line. Pam, thanks for joining us.
Hi, John. Nice to be on the line with you.
Well, congratulations on a wonderful production. The story is dramatic, and it tells an incredible story of two young girls who committed a brutal murder. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's 1954 in Christchurch, New Zealand, and yes, two young girls, 15 and 16 years old. That's Juliet Hume, who's the English girl, and Pauline Parker, a New Zealander. They savagely murder Pauline's mother down a walking track in Victoria Park, Christchurch. So the play deals with the girls' obsessive relationship, their fantasy world, and of course the court events that happen after the actual murder, and what actually happens to them 5 years on. So it's quite an interesting tale.
Yeah, and the story was made into a successful film by one of the great directors, Peter Jackson. Did you watch the film, and did that influence you in any way?
Oh, certainly did. I absolutely loved the film. I'm a bit of a crime junkie, I suppose. Favourite program being Crime Investigation.
Oh, yeah, that's me too.
And I stumbled on the play, actually, whilst on holiday with my sister in Auckland in a second-hand bookshop, so I was pretty excited about that. Took it home and read it and thought, I must do this play. So submitted that, and Gold Coast Little Theatre was able to take that on. So,
well, there are a lot of scene changes during the play. Now, they must have presented quite a few challenges for you.
Absolutely. Well, the play gives us 16, or it might be even more than that, 16 different locations anyway, and what I didn't want was to have a whole lot of stagehands coming backwards and forwards, moving things around. So I thought, how on earth am I going to develop a set that's workable? So I came up with the idea of, kind of like a doll's house, I suppose, where we're actually showing the two households of the Humes and the Parkers on stage, as well as the courtroom and the two bedrooms of the girls, and some interview rooms. Someone said the other night, well, you've used up every inch of that stage, and I suppose we have. So Eric James, my set person, my lighting person, and my sound person, he has just sweated blood making this happen, and we have lit the different areas with lighting to make it quite interesting. Some scenes you're seeing at the same time, so there's two bedrooms alight, and then the courtroom goes on, so it really does take the viewer's eye all over the set, I guess you'd say.
And you've also got the cast members going into the audience as well, haven't you?
That's right. That's our well, it's the only fictitious character in the play, Bridget O'Malley, played by Pam Barber. She actually talks to the audience and also appears in scenes. So she acts as a kind of every woman, this judgmental, funny little person. But she was based on a real character, which was the Humes housekeeper.
Right. Well, the two young actresses, they're fantastic, and they've got quite demanding roles. How did you find them?
Well, I did talk to a couple of girls about auditioning for the play, and one of them actually did get a role. That's Courtney Bell, who plays Juliet Hume. I have seen Courtney on stage during a Stedfords and various productions at the Arts Centre, and I thought she would be perfect for Juliet, but I was very open at auditions to see what came through that door, and had a great surprise with Alexanda, who plays Pauline Parker, and she is actually a Kiwi, and she just blew me away, and the two of them together, they are so good.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Contrasting too.
Yeah, well, we see a great many musicals at theatre these days, and many of them are high quality, but it's great to see a really dramatic play that deals with some quite controversial issues in Daughters of Heaven. Were there any resistance to the subject matter of the play?
Not at all. Gold Coast Little Theatre staged The Boys last year, directed by Noella Johnson, and that was, I suppose, a bit of a risk play, and proved to be a great, great success. So I think they were quite open about this one, even though, I guess the controversy is there. But no, it's not at all. They were quite happy to stage it. So.
Yeah, well, the boys ended up winning quite a few awards last year, so who knows, the same might be true with Daughters of Heaven.
Oh, well, we'll see.
Well, congratulations once again. I really enjoyed the play, and I'd recommend it to all our listeners.
Thank you.
How long is the season, and how should our listeners book for the show?
The season runs until May the 5th. And they can book by phoning Gold Coast Little Theatre on 55 322 096, or you can book online. Do you want me to give that?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. www.gclt.com.au.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks again, Pam, and we'll talk to you again for your next production, which I hope will be just as interesting.
Thank you very much, John. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. That's Pam Sexton, the director of Daughters of Heaven.